and followers of the legendary Johnny Genesis North, we are releasing a must-have collection of Johnny North merchandise in our store at merch.ringsidereport.net, starting with our limited edition Johnny Genesis North 3/4 sleeve t-shirt. With a unique design capturing Johnny in action, this tee exudes raw energy and intensity through its versatile 3/4 sleeves for any weather. Stand with our legendary co-host, Johnny North. Make a bold statement in the wrestling community by getting yours today, exclusively at merch.ringsidereport.net.
The discipline of jiu-jitsu, the elegance of a perfect pour. Introducing the jiu-jitsu-inspired shaker pint glass. Crafted for the martial artist in you. 16 ounces of pure elegance, perfect for post-training refreshment or a sophisticated cocktail evening. Durable, stylish, versatile. Not just a glass, but a testament to your dedication. Celebrate your passion with every sip. The Jiu-Jitsu Shaker Pint Glass. Cheers to mastery. Available now in our store. Go to merch.ringsidereport.net and get yours now.
Strength in every sip.
Here's a programming note from the Ringside Report Network. Every Friday, join Dave Simon along with pro wrestler Johnny Genesis North as they break down the week that was pro wrestling on Wrestling Uncensored. Join them live starting after WWE Smackdown and during AEW Rampage at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here, or as an audio podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to share this broadcast and review our podcasts on Apple Podcasts. It really helps us out. Why not become a member of the Ringside Report universe? Go right now before the show starts to membership.ringsidereport.net. That's membership.ringsidereport.net.
Each and every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, dive deep into the heart of MMA with Ringside Report MMA. Join seasoned analysts Dave Simon, Fred Garcia, and my good friend AJ D'Alexio as they dissect every fight, analyze strategies, and reveal their top betting predictions. From main events to prelims, our trio deep dives into the strengths, weaknesses, and potential game changers for each fighter. Looking to place a bet? Benefit from the expertise of our analysts and get an edge over the competition. Discover lesser-known facts, training camp secrets, and behind-the-scenes tidbits that only our seasoned crew can deliver. Share your fight predictions and be featured in the broadcast. For both new fans and longtime MMA aficionados, Ringside Report MMA is the key to unlocking a richer UFC viewing experience. Become an MMA insider. Don't miss out on our exclusive content. Subscribe now and ensure you ring that bell for timely notifications.
Before we dive into today's action-packed broadcast, check out ringsidereport.net. Explore a wide range of exclusive articles and commentary that are specifically designed for the fans of pro wrestling and MMA. Did you miss a broadcast? No worries. We've expanded them all on our website. And don't forget to hit our store for exclusive merch and other must-have items, ringsidereport.net, where the real action is.
We've got boosted odds coming. Dave's picks, which means I'm going to give you picks, and on the site, it'll say, like, you know, minus 200 or something, but then I'll call my buddies at Bet99. I'll be like, hey, can we give it a little better? And it'll be like minus 150, so there'll be more value.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to add value to the picks. We're going to get boosted odds at Bet99 for the Ringside Report universe. For all the viewers, we're going to give you picks, and then we're going to be like, you know, there's a number here on this at Bet99, but maybe wait till Saturday morning, and there'll be a better number because we're going to give you those boosted odds. They're a sponsor, and I want them to do well, and they're helping the show and all of that, but at the same time, I want to give good picks and take them for everything they got, baby. But they got.
Well, that's what it comes down to.
You know what I mean?
Listen,
it's a weird relationship because I'm friendly with them and I want to do well and I want them to do well, but I also want us to do well, and for us to do well, we need to take money from them, which is part of the whole. It's part of the game, and they like it, and it's all fun. So we're gonna get some boosted odds, and we'll see how much we can boost them for the viewers, so we can make a lot of cash. Yes, indeed. We're previewing UFC Mexico. Ringside Report. MMA is live.
Let's go!
Ah, hey, what? Where are the guys? Hey, boys. What's up, Freddie?
Howdy.
Hey, hola.
Yes, indeed. We are here. We are live.
Hola, amigos.
Hi, AJ. I want to start the show by saying AJ was right about Ilya Topuria. I don't think I gave him enough credit on Saturday.
Well,
I was a little salty. I was a little sour. I was a little sad.
A lot of people came up to me for that.
A little sad about my man Volk. Johnny North was upset with me. But I think
Johnny, man, there's so many people, man. They were like, Dave, I'm telling you, that wasn't cool. I was like, that's Dave for you.
Oh,
he didn't win his money, so he got upset.
I don't really remember
exactly
like that, but
exactly, AJ. You're just making things up. But I do want to top up.
Dave.
Johnny was like, "Oh, you didn't give AJ enough credit. AJ was right," but he's always on the AJ bandwagon. So this is mostly for Johnny
AJ
North.
was right on one fight.
Yeah, one fight.
I mean,
the most important fight of all, man.
I guess so. I was only missing one fight on my parlay. Also, I mean,
yeah, me too.
I just see Pat's comment coming in. That website is really, really informative, man.
Yeah, our website is fantastic. Patrick C. Hamilton says, I picked Topuria too, but it was your website that convinced me. So there you go. I'll take partial credit there. RingsideReport.net. Go check it out. There's a lot of great information, a lot of great stuff on our website over at RingsideReport.net. Go check us out. Don't forget to join the Ringside Report Network, just like Patrick did, just like Doug Hepburn did, just like Angelo Contagonis did over at join.ringsidereport.net, supporting the channel. Thank you, Patrick, Doug, Angelo, and all the other members of the channel. We are here for you every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Ringside Report MMA. A special programming note for tomorrow night. If you're a pro wrestling fan and you watch Wrestling Uncensored, I know we're usually on after SmackDown, but because we have such an early start with Elimination Chamber on Saturday, we decided to get an early start for the preview on Friday night. So we're going to be on tomorrow night here on the Ringside Report Network at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Johnny and I, live, breaking it all down, 7 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow evening here on the Ringside Report Network for a special Elimination Chamber preview edition of Wrestling Uncensored. And then on Saturday afternoon at about 12:30, we'll be on here for the Elimination Chamber post show. We're not going to go on live right after the Chamber because the Chamber starts at 5 a.m. and we're not going to do a post show at 8 a.m. because I don't think many of you will be awake to even watch it. So we'll give us some time to wake up, have some coffee, and leisurely watch Elimination Chamber in the morning time, and then we'll get your post show on in the afternoon here on the Ringside Report Network. So we'll have an exact time for that post show here tomorrow night on Wrestling Uncensored, but I'm aiming towards 12:30. But I'll tell you specifically when tomorrow. And you could always set an alert by joining the channel. All right?
Perfecto, signori. Signoro.
Signoro.
Signorito.
Commendatore.
Signoro.
Buongiorno.
Grazie.
Commendatore.
A bit of Italian, a bit of Spanish.
We've got fights this weekend.
Comment about my sombrero, man. What's up with you guys? I put that up for Fred for his.
I noticed. I'm like AJ being insensitive again.
They wear sombreros in Mexico.
But yeah, man, this sombrero is from did you ever watch the movie The Three Amigos?
Of course.
Fred probably watched it. You know The Three Amigos, man, with Steve Martin?
I have not
seen
it.
So there it is. There you go, man. Now, only two amigos have the hat, and AJ has the third one.
Bueno.
Put the sombrero on. I'll put it on.
We have some fights this weekend, guys. UFC Mexico, as AJ is getting festive with the sombrero, ready to get his mariachi on, and very excited about all that.
Forgot.
What? A mariachi suit? Do you have that?
And whatever they called. The clappers. I forgot what they're called in Spanish.
You want maracas?
Maracas. I have maracas. I forgot to bring them. Damn.
Ole.
Maracas are this.
Oh, no, that's Spanish.
By the way.
Yeah.
And this is
What's the thing that go like this?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know what he was looking for. I didn't know what he was talking about.
You know what I'm talking
But
about.
I never know what AJ's talking about. We are going to Mexico this Saturday night for UFC Mexico. Well, we're not actually going, but we'll be watching the Fight World go to Mexico. We should go.
We should go, man. Think about it.
It would be fun.
Man, it would be wild, dude.
UFC Mexico?
It would be mucho loco.
It would be. Is it Mexico City? I think it's Mexico City.
It's okay, man. We got Freddie who can translate everything for us.
I think my Spanish is better than Fred's.
Yeah.
What?
Definitely.
100%. 100%. ¿Comprende? Amigo? Pendejo? Cabrón?
Oh, but yeah. It's called not eating.
Huh?
And stress.
¿Qué?
Ay.
Sí, ¿qué? ¿Qué pasa?
No comprende. No comprende lo que tú dices.
Dawn, man. Hey, man, that was a great Mexican movie, man.
¿Qué?
We got all kinds of pussies. From Dusk Till Dawn, man. Great film.
I haven't seen it.
And the Three Amigos, man. Look at that. 2 amigos got them, and I got the third. You never seen Dusk Till Dawn, Dave? Are you joking or are you serious? Don't tell me. Don't tell me another one.
I am serious.
I have to put that on the list. Another one that Dave hasn't watched. Dusk Till Dawn, one of the classics. And my friend Harvey Keitel, that's in it? You never heard Cheech or Chong? Is it Cheech?
I think it's Cheech.
No, it's Chong. I think it's Cheech.
No, Chong's not in that. Cheech Marin is in that movie. I think.
Man.
Yeah. Cheech.
We got all kinds of pussies.
See, I can explain to you who Cheech is and who Chong is. Cheech is, hey man, I'm Cheech, and Chong is, hey man, Chong, right? The hey man.
Chong is that 70s show. He played in that 70s show. He's Hyde's buddy there.
Oh, was he in that show?
What?
Oh, yeah. With that guy who's now in jail forever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that guy. He's getting a beating, apparently, I read this week. He's not doing too well in jail, man.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve a good life. He deserves all the pain and suffering forever.
All the Cheech he's going to get there, boy. Woo. Madro de Dios.
I think your Spanish is pretty broken, but I like it. It's like half Italian.
It is Latin based, dude. Just think about it.
Let me get to the point. We got Mexico fights from the UFC, and then PFL and Bellator have this big fight event that they're doing in Saudi Arabia. They're calling it PFL versus Bellator, which is a cool concept because PFL bought Bellator, but now they're keeping Bellator alive as a promotion. And they're saying that Francis Ngannou is going to return to MMA and fight the winner of the main event, Hernan Ferreira.
What?
Yes, Hernan Ferreira, who is the current PFL heavyweight tournament winner. He won the tournament last year. He's going to fight the Bellator heavyweight champion Ryan Bader, and the winner of that, apparently, is going to fight Francis Ngannou.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I like that. I really do, man.
Finally, right? Ngannou signed to PFL, feels like for a couple years now. And finally, they seem to have an opponent in mind, and they're trying to set up a fight for Francis Ngannou, which is great news because, you know, boxing is cool, but he was the former UFC heavyweight champion. He never lost a championship. He is possibly the best heavyweight in all of MMA, and I would like to see him continue fighting in mixed martial arts. I think it's kind of unfortunate that he doesn't have the level of competition that he would face in the UFC, but I still want to see him fight. I still think Jon Jones is the number one guy at heavyweight in the game, but I'm still like a big Francis Ngannou fan. How could you not be? The fight with Tyson Fury, he's going to be boxing as well, right? He's going to have that fight with Anthony Joshua. That's up next for Francis, so I'm excited about Francis. I'm a Francis Ngannou fan, and I think it's cool. I don't know how excited I'm going to get for Francis Ngannou against Hernan Ferreira, because who? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. I see your point there. But everybody
Couldn't pick him
Bader,
up in the lineup.
He kind of
Ferreira sounds kind of Brazilian, so
yeah,
he is
Brazilian. Five Brazilian in the lineup, and I probably can't pick him. I got 20% chance.
Well, let's put it this way: Ferreira kind of looks like Pereira. Very similar face, man. Very like.
Looks Brazilian.
Very similar. He looks Brazilian, man. Ferreira and Pereira, very similar. But man, Ryan Bader, man, 31-7, man. What a career this guy's had. Wouldn't you like to see, like, Bader fighting in the finals?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting, man.
Bader and Ngannou?
Yeah, man.
Dude.
That would be crazy.
You know who Bader's last fight was?
Was it Ngannou?
It was Fedor. He never fought Ngannou.
Oh,
Bader's last fight was against Fedor. You want to go from
that's right.
being a 40-year-old heavyweight, okay, who fought in the UFC at light heavyweight and quite frankly was a top 10 but not championship level light heavyweight. Jon Jones obliterated Ryan Bader when Ryan Bader was probably in his prime. Yeah. So I just can't get excited for Ryan Bader, who fought Fedor, and now could maybe fight Hernan Ferreira, beat him, and then fight Francis Ngannou. That seems like a terrible idea for Ryan Bader. That doesn't seem like a good move. And, I'm expecting Hernan Ferreira to win only because Ryan Bader's last fight was against Fedor. He's 40 years old. I assume there's a limit to how far he can go. I'm not even thinking Hernan Ferreira is going to win because I think Hernan Ferreira is a great fighter or I know a lot about him. I'm just picking against Ryan Bader in this one. So when you're watching that type of fight and that's your main event, I mean no disrespect to these guys because they're great athletes and it's a cool promotion and I'm going to watch it, but I'm not super hyped for it and I can't get hyped for an Ngannou fight against one of those guys. I can't. And you won't either. AJ will pretend that he is.
There has to be better matchups than that one on the card.
Yes. On the PFL versus Bellator.
Champion versus champion, man. There has to be a better matchup than.
There is. There's a couple better matchups. There's a couple. You guys with me? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, man. We're
okay. Okay.
Yeah, it was getting a little bit choppy there, but we're good.
Yeah, we got choppy there for a second, but there are a couple better matchups on this card. We've got Brandon. Oh no, that's a UFC card. Sorry, that was a good card. I was like Brandon Moreno. I was like, no, that's good. Impa Kasangane against Johnny Eblin. That to me is a better fight. That's a good fight, but it's not going to get you excited because the name value there is not super high. But Johnny Eblin, 32 years old, 14-0, Bellator middleweight champion. This guy looks like the truth at middleweight, like a very legitimate 185-pounder. And now he's going to fight this guy, Impa Kasangane, who won the Bellator the PFL light heavyweight tournament, and now he's dropping down to middleweight to fight in this champion fight. That, to me, is the fight on this card. Like, Ferreira Bader, like, yeah, it's cool, but they're making it the main event, I think, because of the Ngannou stakes and maybe because it's the heavyweight title, heavyweight champ versus heavyweight champ. But that Kasangane against Eblin fight, to me, is the one to watch. But it's not like a really sexy fight, you know? It's not like a fight that people are going to be real hyped about. And even going into it right now, Johnny Eblin, minus 475, Kasangane plus 335. I think those are the Bet99 odds right now, and I think that's a little much. I think Eblin is too heavy of a favorite, and Kasangane as plus 335 is worth a look. Even though Eblin is an absolute beast, that's worth a look.
Eblin needs to spend his money better, though.
Who?
Eblin.
Why? What did he do?
Why?
What did he buy?
He spent $85,000 on some OnlyFans chick.
Really?
Allegedly.
What?
Oh my God.
He didn't deny or confirm it when they asked him, but it came out last week that he was like the highest contributor to this OnlyFans chick, and he spent like 85 grand supposedly. So yeah, man. I don't think I got no clue how much he's making per fight, man, but he shouldn't be spending 85 grand on an OnlyFans.
Put it on ringside, man. And Dave will strip.
No. What? I'm not doing that. Patricio Pitbull taking on Gabriel Alves Braga on this fight card. Featherweight fight. Ray Cooper III taking on Jason Jackson. Bruno Capoloza taking on Vadim Nemkov. Nemkov is the Bellator light heavyweight champion. But he vacated the title,
Olivier's
and now he's fighting
there.
at heavyweight. Say it again?
Too bad Olivier's not there. Who's the Bellator 155 champ?
Maybe AJ McKee? No. I don't think so. Yeah, maybe. No? I don't know. I don't know who the Bellator 155 champ is. But Olivier's not fighting because Olivier retired.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
I'm saying too bad.
Yeah, it'd be more exciting if we saw Olivier fighting. There's a lightweight fight on this. Clay Collard taking on AJ McKee. Clay Collard went to the finals against Olivier and lost, so I guess he's the representative for PFL. And then AJ McKee is a Bellator fighter, but he's not the champion. I don't know who the Bellator lightweight champion is. It might be Pitbull there. Isn't it Pitbull? Isn't he the 145 and 155 champion of Bellator? Or no, he's 135 and one.
He's the
no,
current featherweight champion.
Yeah, he was 145, and I think he tried to get the 135, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
I don't know who the Bellator lightweight champion is, and I'm not going to look it up. You guys look it up if you want. I don't give a shit.
No, featherweight? Did you say featherweight?
Lightweight, 155.
Yeah. He was the former lightweight champion.
Yeah, but he's not anymore.
No, he's not. And
who is? Let me see. I'll tell you. Now I'm going to look it up. You're making me look it up, Fred. Killing me. Current champions in Bellator. Heavyweight Bader. Lightweight Usman Nurmagomedov. Oh.
Usman.
Why isn't he on this card? Oh, because he tested positive for a banned substance in October. That's why. No Usman Nurmagomedov. Man, that would have been a sick fight, right? Usman Nurmagomedov against Olivier Aubin-Mercier. Imagine if that was on this card. That would be sick.
Crazy, man.
Unfortunately, not. No Usman Nurmagomedov at all. Yeah, so they have a Nurmagomedov, one of the Khabib boys, as their lightweight champion. We should have known. Right? Those guys run that division. 155 everywhere. Makhachev in the UFC, and Nurmagomedov in Bellator. Yes,
indeed. Listen, man, you got somebody there too that's kind of interesting. You got the Biagio Ali Walsh, man. Do you know who that is?
No.
I was reading up on him. He's the grandson of the iconic boxer Muhammad Ali, man. The grandson of Ali is fighting in the card, man.
Okay. Clarissa Shields, too,
interesting.
speaking of boxing, she's fighting as well. Clarissa Shields, a top boxer. She's fighting as well on the prelim card and on the main card. This is a fight that I know you guys are going to be interested in. Thiago Santos versus Yoel Romero. Let's go. That's the fight, baby. Thiago Santos is 40 years old. Yoel is 46. And they are going to throw down at light heavyweight on this main card, PFL versus Bellator.
Should have been the main event.
Hell yeah. But they're not in their prime. They're not champions. It would have looked bad. You can't have the main event. It's just not a good look.
No. It looks like a really nice card, man. I like it.
Yo.
I'll be watching it.
You know what's crazy is that I was like, Bader, he's 40, He's actually not the favorite, but the odds right now, Ferreira, minus 125, Bader, minus 105. Like, it's basically a pick'em. And that's not good for either man because that means that either guy's got a 50% shot of getting their head smashed in by Francis Ngannou later this year. That's not good.
You think that's in the back of your mind where, like, maybe I'm a little less aggressive here.
Maybe I don't want to win this fight. Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm throwing the fight, but I'm not looking to really beat this guy.
Let's just say no pressure. No pressure. If I win, great. If I lose, at least I don't have to fight Ngannou. But at the same time, the Ngannou fight, win or lose, that's a big payday. And they don't look at it like we do. They don't look at it like, geez, that'd be awful. They look at it as, hey, I could maybe beat Ngannou, which is crazy. Because they can't. We can't, and neither can they. I mean, let's be fair. Bader's got good wrestling, though. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, it's possible, man.
Yeah, anything's possible.
Man, he looks big. Ferreira looks like a big, big boy, man.
I got Ferreira winning the fight, but I think Ngannou will smash either one of them. Johnny Eblin minus 475 over Impa.
Yeah, he looks like a good pick, man.
Ooh, Thiago Santos minus 125. Yoel Romero minus 105. Yoel Romero's the underdog to Thiago Santos?
Yeah, well, Santos has two good knees now, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Yoel, though,
Yeah, but Yoel, man, he gasses out.
You said they're both 40? Because in my head, Yoel is older, but
he's 46, Yoel.
Yeah, and how old is Santos?
40.
Yeah,
I mean, look, man. The only example I have of this is when Tony and Bobby fought, and Bobby beat up Tony, and I think those couple of years made a difference.
Yep.
I'm just saying. AJ has no clue what I'm talking about, but
I'm going to say one thing. The thing with Thiago Santos, man, with his knees, he got both knees repaired, man. The guy is like, he's physically fit, man. He's healthy. That's the difference, man. Yoel Romero, man. The thing with him all the time is that he gasses, man. And at 46 years old, it's going to be a hard one.
Yeah, maybe.
15-7, man. His career is not like, yeah.
I like Yoel, though. I can't bet against Yoel. I love you, Yoel. I love you.
No, I got Thiago Santos.
USA.
22-11,
what happened to you?
Thiago Santos.
Say no. What happened to you, USA? Say yes to Jesus. Say no to get Jesus.
Don't forget Jesus.
Oh yeah, no forget Jesus.
Don't forget Jesus.
Yeah, that's what he said. No forget Jesus.
No forget Jesus.
No forget Jesus. No forget Jesus. What? Don't forget Jesus is what he was trying to remind us, but no one understood at the time. Everybody said,
It's hard to understand the poor guy, man.
No for gay Jesus. That's good. Okay. You guys got picks for this?
Let's watch
Who we
it,
picking?
Man.
You want to do a Bellator PFL parlay or do a combination? Combination.
Oh, let's just go straight Bellator.
Oh, really?
Man.
But
all right. Forget Bellator parlay then. We'll just do a UFC parlay. Forget it.
I told you, I got Thiago Santos. That's my only pick. Santos beats
pick.
Yoel.
AJ is going to want to pick the whole card, but I'm not going to let him. I'm just going to move on. All right?
Come on, Dave. Don't be like that.
Why? I want to be like that. There's a guy in the chat who keeps chatting too much. I think he's your friend. It's got to be. He's a chatterbox. I don't like his profile picture. I'm not even going to mention him.
What is it?
I don't know. I'm sure he's a fine guy. He's just like, there's a lot of chat coming from him, and his profile picture is real weird, so I don't even want to draw attention. I don't like
you just did.
Hey, listen,
yeah, I just did.
No, I gotta go check it out.
Nah, don't check it out. We're doing other things.
Listen, man, the card's at 3 p.m. Don't forget. It's an afternoon card. It's perfect, man.
Yeah. Ordinarily, I'd be fine, but I don't like that profile picture, so I'm just going to ignore you. That's how it's going to go. I'm sorry.
Cool, Dave.
What do you mean? No, it is.
Hater.
No, it's fine. No, I think I have the right. If you take a good look, I think I'm in the clear for that one.
Is it a penis pic or something?
Straight up ignoring. No, it's fine. I'm not. We're going to move on. UFC Mexico, Brandon Moreno taking on Brandon Royval. This is a rematch. And Moreno right now, 30 years of age, the former champion, coming off that loss, split decision to Alexander Pantoja back in July. He's looking to bounce back. This is, yeah, it's still gross. This is, you know, trying to be the rebound fight for Moreno, and this is a fight and a card built around Brandon Moreno. And, of course, you know, some of the other Mexican fighters on the card, Yair Rodriguez, Ortega, you know, Mexican-American. But Brandon Moreno, he is the guy. He is the main event. He is the main draw. And he's become a big star for the UFC and a big star for the UFC in Mexico. Like I said, former champion, two-time champion in the flyweight division. I think he's going to fight for the belt again. I think this fight against Brandon Royval is exactly what he needs to bounce back and get himself right back in the mix for a title shot. Brandon Royval is coming off a loss as well to Alexander Pantoja, so they have that in common. But when they fought last time, Moreno TKO'd him in the first round.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how good of a fight this is for Royval. Like, this doesn't seem like a good matchup for Brandon Royval. Like, if I'm Royval's manager, I mean, maybe Brandon wanted to take this fight because he wants revenge against Moreno, whatever. I get it from a competitive standpoint, but it really didn't go well the first time. This is in Mexico. Moreno's people are going to be behind him 100%. The crowd's going to be wild for him. I don't really like this fight for Brandon Royval. Considering how the first one went, considering that they're both coming off losses to Pantoja, and I think Moreno's was most recent. Oh, no. It was Royval's that was more recent. That was in December.
Yeah, when,
right.
What did he do?
Yeah.
He knocked out the Nicolau, and then he got the submission against Matt Schnell.
Yeah.
And when you look at Moreno, man, if you look at his stats, you know, the guy hasn't been finished since he was 22 years old. That was back in 2016. I mean, it was a split decision loss to Pantoja, man. It was close, man. You know, I thought he won. But anyways, you know, it's that much of a split. And, like, look, this is not too hard to figure out that it'll probably end up the same way as it did with their first meeting. I mean, Moreno is a beast. This guy, man, he's just so exciting, man. And he always puts on a great fight. He needs to win it in his home country now. and I think he will.
All right.
But he hasn't been like stopped since 2016.
So you're going with Moreno?
For sure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freddie?
Not to take away from Royval.
Yep, Moreno.
Yeah. That's the move.
It is the move, man.
I like Moreno, man. Like you said, he's charismatic. I think like he has a lot of potential to develop the market for Mexico and Mexican,
big time,
American Mexican people. So he has a lot of potential, and he's a good fighter. He's an exciting fighter. I hope he wins, man. Gets back into the title picture soon.
Freddie, remember the fights with Figueredo? I mean,
yeah,
they
were all excellent, man.
Fight, man. They were all excellent,
and
man.
Even against Pantoja, he had a good fight, man. That was a good fight,
he did, man. I thought he won that, in my opinion. But that goes to show you the guy always comes out, and he's so exciting that, you know, it would be a shame if he loses on Saturday. But I really doubt it. I mean, this kid has the tools to, you know, to show exactly what he did in their first fight with them. He's probably going to knock him out again.
Yeah, I've got Brandon Moreno. I think by knockout is the move right now. Moreno minus 290, the favorite over at bet99.ringsidereport.net. I would go with Moreno. We've got Yair and Brian Ortega in the co-main. I'm very confident in Yair Rodriguez taking that fight. I've lost faith in Brian Ortega. He's had some struggles. He looked like one of the best in the world for a while there, but he ran into Max Holloway. It was a really tough fight. You know, he was 14-0 up until that point. Fought Holloway in 2018, got beat by Holloway pretty bad. Didn't fight again for like 2 years. Fought the Korean Zombie, beat him by decision, and then came back like a year later to fight Volkanovski for the belt. Like, he always kind of stays at the top of the division. He's always in the mix for a title shot, but I think that lack of activity has kind of slowed his progress. He lost to Volkanovski and really was never in that fight. He lost a decision, and Volk just completely dominated him. And then he had a fight with Yair in July 2022 that he lost in the first round when he hurt his shoulder. The fight wasn't really going his way. He's been out of action for so long. He's been so inactive over the past 5 years. You know, looking back, he has had, since 2018, he had 2 fights in 2018, 1 fight in 2020, 1 fight in 2021, 1 fight in 2022. Since 2018, Brian Ortega has had 5 fights. 5 fights in about 6 years. He hasn't fought in 2 years. He had a shoulder injury, but goddamn, pal, 2 years? And, a year and a half, I guess, July to February. Okay, but still, the guy is very inactive. 5 fights in 6 years, and still, for some reason, because he's so good and because people respect him, because he's always in big fights, the UFC putting him in big fights, still, he's only a plus 130 underdog. That, to me, is the move of the night for UFC Mexico. Yair Rodriguez is the move of the night. Yair is still in his prime. Yair is a great fighter. Yair's active. Yair's doing well. Brian Ortega, to me, is a guy that's not there anymore and so inactive that you just can't be effective with 5 fights in 6 years. And by the way, of those 5 fights in 6 years, 3 of them are losses. One of them's a win over Frankie Edgar, who's retired, and the other one's a win over Korean Zombie, who's also retired.
But it's hard, Dave. Man.
I'm not trying to disrespect the man. I'm just telling you why I'm picking against him.
No, and you've got a point, man. And there's a lot of other factors as well. But just quickly to touch up on the fact that he's been gone for over a year and a half because of a shoulder injury. So that's the reason why. If not, he would have been probably fighting, a couple of times within that year and a half, in my opinion, because he's such a he's such an exciting fighter. When he first came onto the scene, man, like working with the community, he had everything to be like a great possible champion. But I agree with you. And the other factor that I was looking at with this fight with the Yair is that it's the altitude elevation, and that was something that caught my eye. Is because he's training in that altitude elevation with his camp and all that kind of stuff. So that's a big factor when guys go and fight in certain parts of the world, being in Colorado or whatever. Here going to Mexico City is the altitude, man, and that cuts away that cardio. The difference is that Yair is always practicing in that altitude, and here comes like Ortega. It's going to be hard, man. If he's not super sharp, and if rust is not a factor, it's the cardio that's going to be another thing because of that altitude. So that's what that made the clinch for me to say Yair has everything to beat Ortega, and the altitude is something that's a huge, huge factor in my opinion. That's why I'm going with Rodriguez to win this fight.
Freddie, clean sweep. Are we unanimous on this main and co-main?
I'm going to go with Yair, but I'm just going to say, like, you talk about Ortega losing to Volkanovski and Holloway. Well, Yair lost to Volkanovski and Holloway also.
Yeah.
And if you look at Yair, like he has, he defeated Josh Emmett in 2023, and he defeated Brian Ortega in 2022. But other than that, there's been a lot of inactivity on his side also. So I think both guys are in need to get their career on the right track. And yeah, Yair should be the favorite, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ortega does creates a surprise and pulls the upset. But I'm going to go with Yair.
You are right with the Yair Rodriguez inactivity, which I didn't really examine, but in the past, in the same time span since 2018, I was saying Ortega's only had 5 fights. Yair's only had 7. 7 fights in 6 years. It's not a ton of fights. Compare that to Alexander Volkanovski, the champion in the division since 2018. Well, let's say he had 3 fights in 2018, 2 in 2019, that's 5, 1 in 2020, 6, 1 in 2021, 7, 2 in 2022, 8, 9, 3 in 2023, 2 against Islam Makhachev, by the way, in 2023, and then another in 2024. Like, this guy's had, 13 fights in the same time span. Double of Yair and Ortega. A lot more success. He beat Yair and Ortega in that time span as well. I think activity is important. Staying active is important. Man. Sometimes the more active you are. You look at Volk's schedule, fighting once, twice a year. That's what you want to aim for. I think that 2 times in a year is what you're looking for as a pro fighter. More than that, I think you're pushing it, especially at the top level. But I think twice a year at the top level is where you should be. You get a good buffer in between. That's 2 fights in 12 months. I think that's doable. Right? I think that should be the aim. Sure. That should be the aim for all the top-level fighters. Now, the promotion has to play ball and help you on your schedule and everything, but I think if the UFC is trying to develop a talent, and if the talent is trying to develop, you should be trying to fight 2 times a year. All right, what else do we have? Daniel Zellhuber versus Francisco Prado. Raul Rosas Jr., the kid, taking on Ricky Turcios. Eventually we're going to get so old that Raul Rosas Jr. is going to be like 30 years old. And we'll be like, what? He was a kid. What happened to this kid,
Well, he's only 19, Dave. He's still young, man. He was the first teenager in the UFC, signed to the UFC. The kid is like, okay, he didn't have a good run on his last fight, but overall, he's a pretty exciting kid. And you know what? I hope he wins, man. I really hope for his sake he wins. But you're going up against Ricky Turcio, man. It's not that he's that great, but, he's tough. He has good cardio. But this kid, man, on the ground, he's impressive. Let's go, Raul.
Yeah, I think Rosas Jr.
He's funny.
I think Rosas Jr. gets the win there. He is a minus 230 favorite against Tercios. I saw Tercios on The Ultimate Fighter, and he's pretty good, but I think Rosas Jr.'s got what it takes to win. And, there's some other fights on this card. Fares Ziam taking on Claudio Puelles. That's a good fight right there. Fares Ziam.
Oh, Puelles. Let's see. There was another kid that I was looking at that looked really good. Yeah, the Puelles there. You're right. That was a good one.
Ziam is good.
Fares Ziam.
Yeah, he's from France, I think. Right?
Yeah.
No? Yeah, French.
Fares
Ziam,
so.
yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, let me just see.
Mm-hmm. No, I see it. I have it in front of me. Okay, let's get to the parlays, goddammit. Sick of this AJ messing around. What?
12-15% is saying that Rojas Jr. is washed. He could be,
no,
man.
that's not what he said. You need reading comprehension, AJ. You're not good at reading.
I have my glasses,
he says, when Rosas Jr. is washed, we are done, bros. And he is 100% right.
Oh, yeah, he's right. Okay, I get
when
it.
Rosas Jr. is washed, I think we're like near death, right? Well, AJ will be at least.
Damn it, man.
Right? By the time Rosas Jr. hits his, peak of fighting, when he's done at, 35, Rosas Jr., AJ will be...
ancient.
80 plus. Yeah, he'd be so old. It'll be crazy, right? Because that'll be in, 15, 20 years? It's just going to be so old, man.
You guys, man. These guys.
What?
You want to boost your morale? Listen to Dave on Ringside.
Well, I'm just,
He's like the Dr. Phil of, Hades.
Of what? Hating? Dr. Phil of Hades?
Hades. What the hell happened there? Did the camera just go down? Hades, man.
No, we're just trying to get rid of you, and it didn't work.
Yeah, I know.
I'm always trying to get rid of you, and it never works.
But the cat comes back, bud.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give you a parlay, and I'm going to keep it really simple because I like simple parlays. I like making money, and I just want to keep it real easy peasy for everybody, okay?
Let's do it.
My parlay is going to be what we all picked, and no one will disagree with this parlay because we all picked it, and it is a winning parlay, and it will win. So that's really what we're looking for, and if I can pull it up for you, I will. At some point, I will pull it up for you, and then you will have my parlay. God damn, why is this not working? Stupid program's not working. Here we go. All right, pendejos. Get ready. There it is. It's Brandon Moreno, Yair Rodriguez. Hijo de puta, it's my parlay. $20 gets you $44.83 over at bet99.com. Double your money with Team Dave. Plus 124 parlay. Keeping it simple. It's a 2-fight parlay. Main and co-main for UFC Mexico. Brandon Moreno and Yair Rodriguez.
Javier.
Fred, you like that?
Yeah, I got Moreno, but with Raul Rosas.
Ooh.
That could go either or. In a sense, it's just I want the kid to win, but it's a dangerous one, man.
He's gonna bounce back.
Freddie going with Brandon, the man Moreno, versus Raul Rosas Jr. There he is, the luchador Brandon Moreno and Raul Rosas Jr. $20 gets you $38.59 over at bet99.com. It's a minus 108 parlay. It's a 2-fight parlay from Team Fred. Moreno and Rosas Jr.
Hola.
Age. What you got for me, Age?
I'm trying to bring in some money. I'm not going to go wild on this card, So I'm going to go with Brandon Moreno. I'm going with Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And then I'm only going to stay last with Manuel Torres over Chris Duncan. That's my pick, man.
Manuel Torres, minus 180 over Chris Duncan. Why are you going with that fight? Why is that one the one you're picking?
Just pick it, dude. That's where the money is.
Okay. No explanation, just random fight that he has picked. Brandon Moreno, Yair Rodriguez, and Manuel Torres. Yeah. It's a 3-fight parlay. 20 gets you 69.73 over at bet99.com. That's a good parlay, AJ. It's a 3-fight parlay, a very rare conservative parlay from AJ DeLesio. 3 favorites, 3-fight parlay. It will probably cash. I mean, most of it, 2/3 of it is my parlay. So, yeah, I like this parlay a lot.
And Torres, man, out of his last 8 fights, he's won by first-round KO. This guy has, like lightning hands, man. He's dangerous, and that's why I put him on my pick. So there's a reason for this. I think it's going to pay out this one, man.
Cool.
And it's a nice payout, too.
I hope it does. I hope all our parlays win. And we all have a Merry Christmas.
We win. You definitely win.
Yeah. If you guys win, then I have also won. Well, no, Fred has a different parlay than me. But if your parlay wins, then my parlay has won, and then both of us win at least. Raul Rosas Jr. wins. Everybody's a winner.
Listen, there was a guy on Rumble saying, "Oh man, I'm going to go opposite of what these guys pick." But the truth of the matter is that out of the 3 of us, we're going to win. Like, we've been pretty consistent in winning. Freddie's been on a roll for a little while. I think you won last week, Dave. Didn't you win last week? No, you didn't because of
Yeah, I think
some. Went with the AJ pick there.
Volk ruined my parlay that I gave out. I did hit a 5-fight parlay on my own, but that was like a separate thing that I bet.
You did.
Yeah, I told you I hit a 5-fight parlay. I had Nakamura, Lemos,
you cracked that.
Marab, Gary, and Whitaker. And that hit last week. Marab.
Man, that Whitaker, man. Marab was impressive.
How about that Marab, man? O'Malley's saying Marab is next after Cheeto, so I think that's cool. That's a good fight. Dana White seems to be saying that Topuria and Volkanovski are going to do a rematch in Spain later this year. It's probably that's probably the move.
Man. Nobody believed me.
No, I believed you. I believe the rematch would take place there. Dana seems really keen on the idea, and I think they're going to rush it to do it in Spain. I think Topuria is going to win again, and I think Volkanovski might be winding down. That's what it felt like to me. It felt like kind of maybe the beginning of the end for Volkanovski, or the end, you know?
Well, it's that time, hey, Dave? It's that 35-year mark, man. And you know what? In that division, man, no former champion has come back to retain their title, and it's hard, man. And you know what? Sorry, Freddie, just to quickly say is that I kept saying it from the beginning, man. A KO, man, in a short time of 4 months, man, it's really hard to come in and be, sharp. And you saw the way he dropped. He didn't just, fall over and sort of, attempt to block. He crumpled, man, just like a wet napkin. And that's because the brain just got shut off. And it's going to happen again and again and again. And do you need to be at that point in your life where you have the money and everything? He might have one more fight. It might be a marshmallow fight for him just to, Volk is a serious a serious athlete, a very competitive guy and everything. But, man, I don't want to see too much brain damage because that's what the issue is now.
I agree. There's only so many car crashes you can put your body through. Yeah, I hope Volk's good. And, I'd love to see him bounce back. If he bounces back and beats Topuria in Spain, he's, the greatest of all time.
I don't think it's going to happen, Dave. Let's be honest, man.
Mm-hmm.
That Topuria was impressive. He's he's the new kid on the block, man, in a sense, and he's got everything for him. It's really, really hard, man. It's a new breed of fighters, and this is what you're seeing now. And he's exceptional, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at 28 years old, he's coming into his prime right now, 28, 29, something like that.
Scary, man.
Yeah. He's getting there. He's getting there. That's what you want to be at that age if you're an MMA fighter, top of the top. And only getting better. And only getting better. I think Topuria steadily improving, which is real dangerous for the rest of the division.
Volk will be in the Hall of Fame before Sanchez or Guida.
Yeah.
I was setting you up there, Freddie. Freddie,
okay.
Go ahead, man.
So we had a whole thing. We talked a lot about how Clay Guida and Diego Sanchez should be in the UFC Hall of Fame. And, Fred, you told me before the show that you did lots of research and you have 50 names that should go into the Hall of Fame before in the UFC Hall of Fame before Clay Guida or Diego Sanchez? You said 50 names. Now you're saying 10?
I said 40, but I think I'm up to like 40 something now because I added a couple of females to my list. So
okay.
What? There we go.
So like since it's a long list,
list them off.
Let's not argue about
let's just
it.
List them off. I won't let AJ comment on them at all. How about that?
I just want to hear a yes or a no. Should this guy be in before Guida and Sanchez?
Okay,
so I'll start off.
Let me say yes or no, because AJ will just go on and on. Like he'll give you reasons.
Argue,
I can be succinct.
Let me hear it, man.
All right, so we'll start with a former heavyweight champion, a guy who's had a long career, Andrei Arlovsky.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a point. Yeah.
Frank Mir.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
Yeah.
JDS.
Yes. He's the only guy to beat
Velasquez.
Pete Kane. Kane? Yeah.
True.
Kane Velasquez? Yeah, of course.
Verdum.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah,
Steve.
for the Fedor win.
There.
Yeah, Fedor. Yeah.
Stipe.
Who?
He might not be retired,
Stipe?
but he'll
Yeah.
be soon.
Oh yeah. 100% Stipe.
Belfort.
Vitor Belfort?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rampage.
Yeah, for sure. Man.
Yeah.
Shogun.
Yeah.
Machida.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Weidman.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Weidman?
Oh,
yeah. He beat
course.
Anderson Silva. Yeah.
He beat
Lawler.
Anderson Silva twice, man.
Robbie Lawler, the ruthless one, but of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dos Anjos.
Yeah,
this one
hot.
might be a tough one, but I'll put
RDA?
Dos Anjos over Sanchez or Guida, man.
Yeah,
He's
longevity.
former champ.
World champion.
He's
Yeah.
got longevity.
Yeah.
The most dangerous guy.
Usman.
Kamaru Usman. Yeah,
Oh,
he'll be
yeah.
in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
McGregor.
Of
Oliveira.
course. Charles
Holloway.
Oliveira. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah,
else?
for sure.
Holloway.
For sure.
Max Holloway. Yeah, all right. You're
Yeah.
naming active
Volkanovski.
fighters though. I'm talking about guys that are like almost retired.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
these guys are going to be retired soon. Dominic
Volk,
Cruz.
yeah. Volk,
TJ
Dominic Cruz.
Dillashaw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Demetrius Johnson. He might be active, but he'll be
Yeah.
retired soon.
Oh yeah.
Cejudo. That might have been his last
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
All right, now I got my list of maybe an argument could be made, but maybe not.
Okay.
I'll go with Tim Sylvia, Glover Teixeira, Carlos Condit,
Oh.
Benson
tough.
Henderson.
Wait! You're not
Anthony
getting. You're not
Pettis.
giving me a chance to answer. Hold on. Start again. I'm going to say yes or no. Tim Sylvia? No.
over Diego Sanchez.
No.
Glover,
Yeah.
Carlos Condit.
No.
Oh, come on.
Not over Diego Sanchez.
That's a tough
Oh, he's
one.
had more
He almost
success
beat
than
you.
Diego
Not
Sanchez,
longevity
and he
though.
has the
What do you mean? What
longevity.
success? What success?
He's an interim champion.
Oh, interim when George was hurt.
Super chat.
And he didn't even beat Nick Diaz for that fucking belt.
Yes,
fucking
he did.
cheating, bro. Fucking judges, man, motherfucker. Bullshit. He
Benson
didn't beat.
Henderson.
No, Nick Diaz won that fight. Carlos Condit didn't do shit. No, Nick won. I'm still on that. Benson Henderson, yeah, over Diego Sanchez. Yeah, world champion. Legit world champion, not interim. Real world
All
champion.
right, here's a tough one, but I still think he is Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, I agree. For sure, man.
He's been at his peak. He's had more success than Guida or Sanchez.
Yeah.
True.
All right, guys that didn't
was-
win a championship, but still should be in. Dan Henderson.
But he was
Oh,
close to
yeah.
fighting Khabib at his best.
Henderson was
Overeem.
Pride champion and Overeem, yeah, of course, yeah, the Reem.
Okay, now a guy that's undefeated with 2 wins over Anderson Silva. Chael the Gangster Sonnen.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Okay, but we gotta be clear that he wasn't undefeated and he lost to Anderson twice. He got stopped by Anderson 2 times. But
Gustafsson.
I would put Chael in the Hall of Fame. Alexander Gustafsson over Diego Sanchez? No.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I agree with that, man.
No longevity.
Yeah.
No. He had a small window where he was great, and no, not like Diego
And
or
not even
Guida.
before Guida, man.
Diego was
Not even
never
before
great.
Guida.
Diego Sanchez was on The Ultimate Fighter Season 1. He helped build the sport, Fred. Show some respect.
Damian Maya.
Oh,
Over
yeah.
Diego
Oh, yeah.
Sanchez in the
Come
UFC Hall of
Yeah.
Fame? No.
on. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No.
What?
No.
Why?
Go back and watch when he got a title fight. See how that fight fucking turned out. No.
And how did Diego do against BJ Penn?
At least he made it entertaining. Go watch Damian and Anderson. Go watch Damian and Anderson and tell me how good that fight was. Goddamn horrible. All right.
Nick Diaz.
Nick Diaz? Yeah, of course. Nick Diaz over everybody. Nick Diaz in the Hall of Fame over anybody. Nate? Yes, of course.
Uriah Faber.
Super chat. Yes.
Dustin Poirier. He's close to retirement.
Yeah, okay.
Rory McDonald.
Over Diego
Rory
Sanchez?
McDonald, yeah, for sure, man.
Over Diego Sanchez in the UFC Hall of Fame, accomplishment-wise, longevity-wise, tough. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Probably. But he's Canadian, and I like him, so I'm biased.
Jorge Masvidal.
Jorge Masvidal.
No.
I mean, without the attitude, he's basically Diego Sanchez. So, yeah, I guess.
Like he's a bigger star.
He sold pay-per-views.
That has to count.
Fame. It's Hall of Fame. Okay.
Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, she's the greatest of all time.
Misha Tate.
Not over Diego Sanchez.
Holly Holm.
That's a hard one, but
not over. No, world Rousey, champion. Stopped Ronda. Yeah, okay.
Valentina.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joanna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dominant.
You see, man, I just named
hard,
like
man.
40
Right,
guys,
Freddie.
and you agreed with like 30 of them.
Yeah, okay.
You're right, Freddie.
Doesn't mean that Diego Sanchez can't get in there eventually, or Clay Guida in the Pioneers wing or something. You know what I mean?
At that rate, it's going to take him 30 years to get there, man.
What's Diego Sanchez marquee win? What is the win that you go like, oh yeah, that was peak Diego Sanchez? Without looking it up.
The lead up to the BJ fight, a couple fights. I don't know.
Who did he beat?
Okay, I'll tell you what peak Diego Sanchez was. His fight against Clay Guida. That was nuts.
Is that the one where he came in with the cross?
Maybe. That might have been the one where he was coming in going, yes, 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 yes. Daniel Bryan got his whole gimmick from that. Stole it right from Diego Sanchez. Told me when I talked to him. He's like, yep, that was Diego Sanchez. Thought it was funny. Ripped it off. Angelo Contagonis dropping a super chat. He says, did anyone see Chandler's challenge to McGregor this past Monday night? Yes, we will talk about that in a second. And Doug Hepburn dropping a super chat says, gracias, amigos. The true three amigos. And Angelo, I think the answer to your question, I think this person on the chat was Mako, I think they were going by. I could tell by the form of chat and by how they're chatting, and I think we banned this person before, and now they seem to be back under a different name. I think it was this Mako character who always had odd chats, and this person seems to be having some odd chats as well, so definitely something to monitor. Patrick C. Hamilton dropping a super chat. He says, I think a Hall of Fame should be reserved for the best of the best. Not like WWE, which has the orange guy. Yeah. Patrick C. Hamilton, now the super chat leader of the night. Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, I think Hall of Fame should be best of the best. I think it should be the best of the best, but, you know, look at the UFC Hall of Fame right now. Is it the best of the best? Or do they have, like, some people that you go, yeah, like Donald Cerrone's in it. He was never champion.
Cerrone is there because he's got longevity and, you know, he's a cool character. I guess maybe one day Diego Sanchez,
Clay Guida, same thing.
But no, they're lower. They're lower on the pecking order than Donald Cerrone. Man, Cerrone's more higher, man.
I mean, Matt Serra's in the UFC Hall of Fame. He's got an 11-7 pro record. He beat GSP.
Former champ.
Yeah, but
won the Ultimate Fighter.
Okay.
Look, man, if you look at the Pioneer wing, I mean, you have all the classic fighters that should be there and are there. I mean, everybody from Royce Gracie to Ken Shamrock, Dan Severn, Randy Couture, Mark Coleman, Chuck Liddell, Matt Hughes, Tito Ortiz, Bas Rutten, Pat Miletic. But look, there's
How
even
about
Morris
this?
Smith.
How about this, guys? Okay, they induct 2 people into the UFC Hall of Fame. Okay, let's nominate. Let's do that. Okay? They induct 2 people into the UFC Hall of Fame every year. 2 in the Pioneers wing and 2 in the Modern wing. They have already announced Frankie Edgar is going to be inducted into the Modern wing this year in July on International Fight Week. They've already announced Wanderlei Silva will be in the Pioneers wing. Who from the Pioneers wing and who from the Modern wing would you add? So last year, to give you an example, the Modern wing added Jose Aldo and Donald Cerrone, and they added Anderson Silva and Jens Pulver to the Pioneers wing. So Wanderlei's in the Pioneers wing. Who's the other Pioneer going in with Wanderlei Silva?
Vitor.
To me, Vitor,
Rampage, Shogun.
I'd vote for Rampage because he's retired. I think Vitor's still boxing. Like, Rampage is done.
Man, I go with somebody else, man, and not to say as favoritism, but if I had to pick, obviously, I would go with somebody like Murilo Bustamante, man, because he was the only guy that was the current world champion jiu-jitsu fighter at the same time, the first UFC middleweight champion at that point, at the same time. And Murillo was up there, fought in Pride, man. He was like UFC champion. He had like a crazy fight where he submitted and then like he had to submit the guy twice, for that win. I mean, for myself, you look at Bustamante, he should be there, man. And the only reason why not is because he went over to Pride. It was a whole. That's my
pick. That's decent. Rampage, Bustamante. I think there are a lot of guys that you could include. Vitor Belfort. I mean, Fred had quite a list, right? A bunch of pioneers on that list. How about in the Modern wing? Who are you nominating should be inducted into the Modern wing? I want Rampage as a pioneer. Modern wing, it would be have to be somebody that's kind of retired in the past few years, kind of part of the modern era of the UFC.
I mean,
who's on your list?
Where does guys like Machida, Shogun fall? Do they fall in the Pioneer, Modern? They're like right in between.
They fall in the Pioneer. For sure they fall in the Pioneer.
Machida? I don't know. I think Machida would be Modern and Shogun would be Pioneer. I feel like Pioneer wing is like if you had a lot of success
Cruz should be
in
considered.
Pride.
He was
Dominic
a great
Cruz?
champion.
Yeah.
He should be considered.
Yeah.
And he's been retired for a while. I don't think he's coming back. So,
is he not? I thought
That'd
he
be
was
a good
still
pick.
fighting, maybe, Dominic Cruz.
Does he still fight once in a while? Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he retired. I don't know. He hasn't fought since 2022. He may have been retired. Dominic Cruz, did they induct Faber? Is Uriah Faber in it?
I don't think he is.
Yeah, he's there.
Oh, he is, yeah. No, he already is. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he was on your list, Fred, but he's already in the Hall of Fame. Modern wing.
Ronda Rousey.
Amanda Nunes.
I'd say like Amanda Nunes. Yep, that's what I would think.
Yeah, she makes a lot of sense.
Amanda.
What about Robbie Lawler?
So great. Yeah.
He's retired, right? Didn't he retire this year and win, or last year, right? And win his retirement fight?
Well,
I think Robbie Lawler.
They also have like Hall of Fame matches because his match versus Rory has been.
Yes, it's in the Hall of Fame.
Nominated. Yeah.
It was inducted in the Hall of Fame last year, actually, so maybe they won't do Robbie this year. Yeah, they have a few fights in the UFC
he's not
Hall of
in
Fame.
the Hall of Fame. It's his match, so it's different. So
yeah. They're going to induct another fight in the UFC Hall of Fame. They seem to induct a fight every year. Here are the fights that have been inducted. Griffin Bonner won. Matt Hughes, Frank Trigg. Mark Coleman, Pete Williams. Shogun versus Henderson. Diego Sanchez, Clay Guida. Okay, that's a Hall of Fame fight, Fred. John Jones, Alexander Gustafsson won. Cub Swanson, Doo-Ho Choi, and Robbie Lawler, Rory McDonald, too. That's in the UFC Hall of Fame. Is there another fight you guys can think of that could be in the UFC Hall of Fame?
GSP BJ Penn, too.
Ooh, that's a good one. Can I throw one in there that probably won't be in the UFC Hall of Fame? But I think was one of the... I'm going to throw one in there. Probably won't be in the UFC Hall of Fame ever, but I think was one of the best fights. Brock Lesnar, Shane Carwin. That fight was nasty because Shane Carwin put a vicious beating on Brock in the first round, and then Brock somehow survived and came back and choked him out with a head and arm in the second round, and it was nuts. That fight was really good. I would also put one of those.
You could for Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva.
Yeah, that was a crazy fight. Chael Anderson. How about the JDS Cain Velasquez? Either one.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, some good fights.
See, as you say, as you mentioned, those two fights like Anderson Silva, Chael Sonnen, JDS Cain Velasquez, UFC should almost add like another wing where it's rivalries. What are some of the great rivalries of the history? And you'd have those two rivalries. You'd have John Jones against DC. You'd have there's a lot of good potentials. BJ Penn, GSP, Matt Hughes. There's been some great rivalries over the years also.
Yeah. Matt Hughes, Matt Serra.
Yeah, but would you consider Khabib against Conor as in that category as well?
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the craziest endings of a fight.
Ronda Rousey, Misha Tate. You know, there's been some heated rivalries in the UFC. You know, one of my favorites, Rampage and Rashad. Got to give those guys love. Do you remember when Rampage and Rashad was the hottest thing in the sport and everybody was like, holy shit, these guys really hate each other. This fight's going to be bananas. And then the fight was a dud. But, man, the heat and the build-up to that fight was crazy. The hype for that fight was nuts. At the time, it was for the belt, I think, too, right? Was it for the belt?
I'm not sure because John Jones became champion at some point.
Yeah, this was after that time frame. Yeah. Because Rashad waited too long. Remember, Rashad was waiting
Rampage went to. Isn't that when Rampage filmed the A-Team and he fought Rashad after that and he wasn't in great shape?
Yes. The fight didn't really turn out. Rashad wound up waiting to get a title shot, and then he was supposed to fight Shogun, but then he got hurt, so then John Jones came in and took his spot. And then John Jones and Rashad had the rivalry because they were at the same gym. And then eventually Rashad got less attention because John Jones was the star. And, oh, man, the old days of John Jones and Rampage Jackson and Rashad Evans in the light heavyweight division. Oh, those were the best times. I love those times. All right, guys, we had a good time tonight.
Dagestan.
We've had a good time tonight. Thank you to Patrick C. Hamilton. You are the Super Chat leader of the night. Thank you to Doug Hepburn and Angelo Contagonis as well, dropping the Super Chats. Shout out Leor as well. All the members, Leor, Doug, Angelo, Patrick. Thank you, everybody, for watching the show, supporting the show. Shout out to Mika. Shout out to Miss Brooklyn Lizard. Checking in. Thank you for watching the show, everyone. Everybody checking us out on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, Twitch, Kick, all the things. Eagle 999 on Rumble. I see you, and I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for watching us on Rumble each and every week right here on the Ringside Report Network. I'm going to be back here tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time with Johnny North to preview WWE's Elimination Chamber.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word. Please share this episode on whichever social media platform you use. Add a comment below and consider reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net.